With New World disappointing a lot of people, there are quite a few of you that are looking for a new MMORPG home. For a small minority of you, Mortal Online 2 might be exactly what you have been looking for. And today, we'll explore what is Mortal Online 2, and if this game is for you or not. I will also not go into too much detail about the game, because describing every feature and so on might take a long time since there is a lot. But I'm going to specifically focus on the things that you could like or dislike about this game. Mortal Online 2 is obviously the second entry of Mortal Online and is developed by a small indie dev team called Starvolt, and it's based in Sweden. The game comes at a base cost of $39 and lets you play for 1 month. And after that, you have to pay a monthly subscription of $14.25. Now, I know a lot of you are instantly turned off by hearing this, but what makes this more appealing is that there will be absolutely no microtransaction, which honestly sits pretty well with me. What is Mortal Online 2? Mortal Online 2 is truly unique. The easiest way I could describe it is Escape from Tarkov's complexity meets Skyrim's massive world meets Mordhau and Chivalry's combat. You scramble all these games together and you throw it into one truly huge map with thousands of other players. The game is a first-person full loot PvP sandbox MMORPG with no PvP safe zones, meaning anyone can attack you anywhere, and if they kill you, they get all the stuff in your inventory, including your equipment. Of course, there are measures in place to punish people that do such things, such as town guards and a crime system, but you truly never are safe. And this is the base of the game. There is no storyline, no traditional quest. The players are the story. The players make the quest. This sounds interesting and exciting, but also means that it's up to you to create the fun. There will be times where you log on and you have no idea what you want to do. Mortal Online 2 feels like someone gave you a huge bag of Lego, but no manual. There are just random Legos in a bag. The possibility and the fun is endless, but also very limited depending on the person playing with the Legos. Mortal Online's main focus is PvP, but there's also PvE, and quite a lot of it, from huge bosses and open world dungeons, bandit camps, or just random PvE wildlife spread across the map. The PvE world feels more alive with every update. The first time I played Mortal Online 2 was during a stress test, and I remember complaining that the map feels empty, but over these past few months, the map has been filled with life, making this world way more exciting to explore. And don't underestimate PvE. You need a huge group to complete the harder PvE content, but even out in the wild, stuff will fuck you up in Mortal Online 2. And running away from things is not like in other MMORPGs. Most animals and mobs will catch up to you and kill you if you're out and about without a horse. Uh-oh. Oh, fuck. Run! Run, horse! There's a crazy... What the fuck is this? Oh my god, there's so many of them. I'm dead. Dude, what the hell is this? Oh, I'm dead. The Gathering and Crafting. The Gathering and Crafting is probably the most complex system there is in an MMORPG at this time. You can customize your weapons, armor, and consumables to an almost infinite extent, which again is interesting on paper, but since the game doesn't tell you anything, you will have to go through this long process of trial and error before getting something viable. This again takes us back to the Lego reference. Having a bag full of different Legos might feel super exciting to some people because of the endless possibilities of what you could build, but some people would just feel discouraged by the idea of having to dig through this huge amount of Legos to find that one part you're looking for. This is exactly how Mortal Online feels. It feels like a huge bag of Lego. The combat. The combat is the harder topic of this video. Because of all the things I like about the game, the combat is the one thing that I find hard to swallow. Simply put, the combat feels clunky. The combat is a directional combat, meaning you choose from what direction you want to hit or block. Basically identical to the combat of Mordhau and Chivalry, but with the added complexity. Not only do you have to choose from what angle you want to hit your enemy, you also have to make sure that you hit him from the right distance. Because if you are too close to him, you will hit him with the handle of your weapon, which deals very little damage. And if you're too far, you won't hit him at all. Finally, the combat also feels pretty slow, which in these circumstances probably is a good thing considering the number of things you have to take into consideration, but this combined with the fact that the combat doesn't feel very impactful, and I don't mean the combat doesn't impact the game, the combat impacts the game in a major way since when you die you lose all your stuff. No, I mean the hits feel boring and bland. Your hits feel like they don't have an impact. Yes, the enemy loses HP, but something feels off, and I'm not completely able to make out what that missing thing is exactly. This, of course, is my personal opinion and experience. Maybe I'm just too spoiled from all the flashy, fast combat from other games. The PvP. Of course, after the combat, we have to talk about PvP. Like everything in this game, the PvP is not guided. Everything is up to the players. All the wars and fights are player-driven. There is no join the war button. You either join the fight out in the open world or you don't. Basically, if you want to partake in bigger PvP events, you have to join a guild to stay informed over the location of these battles. But the player-driven PvP content is quite vast. There are arenas, huge open world battles, and even massive sieges that take up to multiple days. The wars are more realistic, and this comes with its advantage, but also comes with some disadvantage, like there will be boring parts, for example, standing watch and waiting for the enemy to strike, etc. Finally, the world. The world of Mortal Online 2 is remarkable. It's absolutely massive. So big that to go from one side to the other, it takes hours and there's no way around it. There is no fast travel. But it is well decorated. There are a lot of ruins, camps, or even player houses spread across these lands. To accompany these structures, there is also quite a lot of wildlife, as I described in the PvE part. But this huge map also comes with a downside. It can sometimes feel less like an MMO and more like a solo co-op game, since depending on where you are, you might go on for hours without seeing anyone else. And due to the nature of the game, the first soul you might meet after hours of being alone might instantly attack you and try to kill you to get your loot, which is a big part of the game, but I can see a lot of people disliking this a lot. Before we conclude, I would like to quickly talk about the roleplay.
Blessings of the Ashen Goddess be upon you, because she will never go out for milk for 20 years.
It's only been 12.
Oh, only 12. So your father went out for milk only 12 years ago. Well, our goddess would never leave you, for she is in all of us, and we're in all of each other's hearts? I don't know.
I feel like this topic doesn't get mentioned enough with other review-like videos of Mortal Online 2. Mortal Online 2 is a roleplay heaven, since the game is so strongly based on player interactions and player-driven politics, war, quests and events. The game kind of guides you into roleplay without you even noticing. For some people, this might already be enough to make the whole game.
Look, a Pohenix, a gremlin!
No! Feast your eyes! For Ashen Order, it is a moose!
That's no. There's no fucking way there's a moose.
So is this game for you? That, of course, is a question only you yourself can answer. But this game is definitely not a casual game. It's not the type of game you can hop on every 2 days for 30 minutes. It's a very niche game, and there's a bigger chance that you will dislike the game than like it. But if you end up liking it, it might very well become the best gaming experience you had in a decade. Mortal Online 2 is a truly immersive world that you can spend your life in, and you will truly see your impact within the world. Due to the game having this close community mixed with the fact that there is only one mega server where everyone plays on, people start knowing you for the good and bad deeds you have done. Depending on what you do, people will talk about you and praise you, or hunt you down. You might discover a unique potion recipe that no one knows about, and everyone will know you for that potion only you know how to make. You can be part of a guild of bandits, ambushing people, or be part of a guild that thrives for justice and hunts these bandits down. With the rise of these new metaverse worlds, I feel like if you would add virtual reality to Mortal Online 2, you could argue that it is already kind of a medieval fantasy-oriented metaverse. In Mortal Online 2, the possibilities are endless, just like with a huge bag of these feet-destroying mother. Now, if from this video you decided you want to give this game a go, then I recommend two things. First, join a guild before even logging into the game, because they will teach you the ins and outs, which you most definitely will need. And considering the brutal nature of the game, its community is actually extremely helpful. To find a guild suited for you, I recommend you join the Mortal Online official Discord server and scroll through the guild recruitment tab. Link to that Discord server is of course in the description. And finally, go watch my tips and tricks video that teaches you some of the things the game doesn't tell you. That is all. Hope to see you in my next video. See ya!